Hi, this is Stephen Holt from StephenHoltFitness.com, and these are 51 foods you should be eating. This list came directly, well, for the most part, from Chris and Kara Moore of MoreResults.com. Chris is an old friend of mine and the go-to trainer for several magazines, including Men's Fitness. Let's start off with vegetables, and of course I'm sure you know that you should be eating more vegetables than you're eating right now. What you may not know is that some vegetables are more effective for accelerating fat loss than others. Starting off with spinach. I don't have to say much about spinach. You all know spinach is great for you. And according to Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4-Hour Body, spinach has special ingredients that make you lose fat faster than virtually any other vegetable. So spinach is number one on the list. Next up, we have the cruciferous vegetables, including kale, broccoli, cauliflower, Swiss chard, a greatly underrated vegetable, right? And for some reason, cabbage and Brussels sprouts didn't make the Moore's list, but they're on my list. Cruciferous vegetables have an ingredient known as DIM, D-I-M. That's short for something you and I can't pronounce. But what's more important is DIM helps fight bad estrogens in your body. More specifically, DIM and vegetables containing DIM, this is important, can help you lose fat in your so-called trouble spots. See, where you hold on to fat is largely determined by hormone, not any specific exercise. It's hormones that determine where you hold on to fat. Listen closely. This is about as close to a magic bullet as you are going to get. DIM and DIM containing vegetables, as in these cruciferous vegetables listed in green here, can help you lose weight. DIM can let me be clear about that. DIM can help you lose fat in your hips, thighs, belly, and upper arms. You want to eat more cruciferous vegetables now? Also on the list, carrots. I don't have to say much about carrots, and beta-carotene and vitamin A and all that stuff. Red, yellow, orange bell peppers. Onions. Onions have also been shown to be very effective in keeping bad estrogens down. The Moors have beets on the list, and frankly, I don't know what's so special about beets. I have to check up on that. And let's get to the starchier carb. On starchy carb days if you're cycling your carbs, or right after a workout if you're not cycling carbs. Pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and yams are great choices if you feel like you need a starchy carb. Remember, save your starchy carbs for after a workout, and not necessarily right after a workout. You want to wait about 45 to 60 minutes. And we'll discuss why in another video. And I also stuck mushrooms on this list. If you're being really picky, mushrooms are not vegetables. Here are the protein sources that the Moors recommend. Wild salmon, not the farmed stuff that you typically find in most grocery stores. Lean red meat, preferably grass-fed meat. Grass-fed meat has high levels, or higher levels, I should say, of CLA. CLA is conjugated linoleic acid. I get my linoleic and linolenic mixed up sometimes. Anyway, CLA has been shown by the FDA scientifically helps you burn fat. CLA helps you burn fat. You want to focus on lean red meat. And we're saying lean here not because fat is a scary thing. You know better than that. You want to focus on lean red meat because all the nasty stuff like pesticides, antibiotics, and hormones are stored in the fat of an animal. And that's why you want lean red meat, so you get less of that nasty stuff. Not because fat is inherently bad for you. It is not. Speaking of fat not being bad for you, you want to eat whole eggs. Whole eggs. There's nothing wrong with the yolks. It will not raise your cholesterol if you're eating whole egg. If you disagree with that, I humbly suggest that you recheck your research. Sardines, we'll just skip that, frankly. Not one of my favorites. Barramundi happens to be a farmed fish, but it's specially sustainably farmed, so you don't have to feel guilty about eating it. Plain Greek yogurt. Yes, plain Greek yogurt. Don't be fooled by Greek yogurt that's flavored with sugar and fruit. Stick with the plain Greek yogurt if you're going to have yogurt or any other dairy products. Fruit. Berries are always good. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries are all low glycemic index fruits. Apples, for the most part, are low glycemic index. So you're safe eating apples. Avocados are always a great choice for a healthy fat source. Tomatoes, yes, tomatoes are technically a fruit. Red grapes, pink grapefruit. Grapefruit has been shown to help you lose weight. It is not just a scam. Now, you won't lose a tremendous amount of weight. Studies comparing people who ate grapefruit with their meals versus people who had the exact same meal except the grapefruit show that the people who did have the grapefruit lost significantly more weight. Pineapple. Pineapple is full of enzymes that can help you digest your foods. And dark cherries have been shown to increase your rate of recovery after workout. And there's tons and tons of evidence about the health benefits of coconut and coconut products. Grains. If you choose to eat grains, you want to focus on quinoa, which technically is a seed, not a grain, rolled oats, oat bran, barley, and something called farro, which I never heard of before. Chris Moore introduced it to me. Legumes, again, if you choose to eat legumes, a lot of people don't. Again, back to Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4-Hour Body. He eats beans and lentils with every meal, and that's the basis of his slow-carb diet. Paleo people, on the other hand, don't eat legumes whatsoever. My advice, as always, is to try both ways. Give it at least 2-3 weeks and see how you feel on legumes, or dairy for that matter, and see how you do without them. I personally don't choose to eat dairy or legumes because frankly I don't do well with either. Your case may be different. Try it out for yourself. Everybody's different. Nuts. You want to focus on pistachios, almonds, and nut butters. You want to be careful, however, with nut butters, especially peanut butter. Your peanut butter should have just peanuts in it. Just peanuts. Other foods you should have include black tea, green tea, coffee. Yes, coffee is okay. In fact, there are studies showing that people who drink coffee on a regular basis live longer than people who don't drink coffee. That's because for most people, because they eat so poorly, coffee is the only antioxidant source they ever get. Turmeric is a very popular spice that has tons of evidence behind it, supporting your immune system especially. If you've been paying attention to research lately, you know that cinnamon is recommended mostly to regulate insulin level and blood sugar. I won't even get started here on the benefits of garlic. I would go on and on and on. You know that dark chocolate is great for you. However, when you choose dark chocolate, you want to make sure that it's at least 70% cocoa and preferably 85% cocoa. And frankly, once you get up in those numbers, it no longer tastes like chocolate. It's kind of yucky, but it's good for you, so take your pick. Olive oil is another great healthy fat for you. So that's it, 51 foods plus a couple of bonuses that you should be eating. So for more fitness and nutrition tips, be sure to find us on Facebook at Stephen Holt Fitness. Just go to Facebook and find our page at Stephen Holt Fitness. Thanks.